Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but I've got some good stuff coming up in the upcoming weeks. There's been a lot going on. I've been doing some writing, working, being a mom, helping people with their projects, just so much going on. But I've been meaning to get to a new podcast. It's not going to be a series, but I'll continue to have some guests on my show, discussing different topics, different things going on in our society, culture, things like that and whatnot. Today, I would like to talk about committing emotional suicide. Now, I know suicide's a big topic, so trigger warning, I'm not going to be talking about physical suicide, but I will be talking about emotional suicide. Now, what exactly is that? I think maybe if you kind of put the words into context, you can kind of see what that means. It's like it's a form of self-sabotage. Sometimes we want to kill those emotions that we have, or put them on mute, or just act like they're not there, just so we don't have to deal with certain situations or people or circumstances. We abandon our hearts and our emotions, just so we could avoid conflict. And obviously, we know that's definitely not the way to deal with things, especially now. We have to address what our heart feels and not allow ourselves to be sabotaged by our thoughts, and just confront those things. I decided to talk about this because I've had to, I'm guilty of it. And then I think I'm doing a good job. I think I'm feeling better. I think I'm doing a justice to myself. But at the end of the day, I'm not honoring myself as a woman or a mother or a friend or a person, a human. I'm not honoring myself, and I don't have that integrity if I am deciding to just kill my emotions. Now, with me, what I like to do is I like to just delete people out my life. I don't second guess it. I don't question. I just cut you off. Maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio. I don't know, but it's so easy for me to just cut the cord sometimes. I, however, am a person who, before cutting people off, I am very forgiving. I am very loving on people. I give the benefit of the doubt to people all the time. But it gets to a certain point where I'm just like, I cannot do this anymore. I'm not going to go play the games. I'm not going to go through the motions. I'm just not going to do it. So what do? I just snip. I just cut you off. Like, we're not going to do this. And in doing that, I feel like, for me, like, if I've cut you off, you're dead. You no longer have a space in my life. Therefore, I will not feel whatever was supposed to come out of this. So I'm not going to be angry at the person who I cut off. I don't feel like I'm at a loss of anything. I don't feel bad if I said anything, because I've mentally and emotionally removed myself from the situation. This is dead. So if something's dead, I don't have any attachment to it. However, that lingers. That lingers. Is we form so many different soul ties with people. Sometimes soul ties aren't always sexual. We form so many soul ties with people, and the brunt of the situation, of the relationship, like, it sticks to us. So I could feel in my mind, like, you know what, I cut you off, you're dead, and I don't feel nothing. But at the end of the day, in actuality, like, those emotions are definitely, they're still there. And me personally, I don't like to feel unpleasant. I don't like to feel anything negative. I just don't have time for the energy. But, I did a little bit of research and, just trying to find out about human emotions. Like, how many even are there? There's a study that was shown, or you can find it in Forbes. Just Google it. There are about 27 distinctive human emotions. Now, I say this because when we're in that negative or unpleasant state of mind, we're not even exercising. We're like demeaning ourselves in just this little space, in this little box. Like, I'm just be angry, and I'm gonna be bitter, and I'll be sad. And that's like 3 of these emotions. Like, we have so many. And what I say that to say, our emotions are like fitness. And I read this somewhere, so I can't recall exactly where, but our emotions are like fitness in a sense where we need to exercise a wide range of our emotions. And just like we need to exercise our bodies, we need to exercise all parts of our body. Now, what happens when we exercise and when we try to be fit? What happens to our muscles, our physical muscles? What happens is that in order for them to grow, they need to rupture. And when they rupture, then they get repaired as we continue to exercise. So the whole process there is rupture and repair as we continue to exercise. And in the same thing that I did read, it said our emotions need to be ruptured in order for us to repair them and grow our emotional fitness. So we're not doing a justice to ourselves. We're actually doing a disservice to ourselves if we allow just the negative emotions to take over us. And we obviously do a complete disservice when we commit emotional suicide and just kill the emotions when they feel like we feel like they get bad. And I don't want to do that. There's a lot of times we say, we want to grow. I want to be bigger than where I am, but we're not willing to go through the pain of certain things. We have to go through the confrontation. We have to go through the conflict. And there's healthy ways to deal with that conflict and with that confrontation. That's not necessarily cutting everybody off, and it's not shutting everybody down. And I'm learning in my 30s, I know it's not the right way to do things, but it's a better way than what I used to do. But that's still not the right mindset. I'm learning that I have to confront certain situations. I have to confront certain people. Hell, I have to confront myself and look at my truth and say, why do I continually just shut everything down? Why don't I allow myself to feel whatever I'm feeling from that situation? Like, I don't have to just shut everything down, because it does nothing for the relationship. It pushes people away. Then people don't want to deal with me. We don't want to deal with each other, and that's not fair, because there are sometimes we do have healthy and great relationships, and I've lost certain relationships because I didn't want to confront any situations. I was just like, okay, bye. And that did nothing. Who knows? Maybe it was a a shitty relationship, or maybe I could have grown, or we could have grown from that relationship. You know, don't commit emotional suicide. Shutting down or killing those emotions are not the solution. You know, and I'm no doctor, I'm no therapist, I'm none of that. I'm just speaking based on based on personal experience. I'm that same type of person who has like these extreme emotions. Like, I'm either extremely happy or extremely sad. It's like black or white. Like, I like you or I don't like you. I love you or I hate you. There's no gray. So I definitely practicing getting my emotional fitness into better shape. And I wanted to just share that with you guys today, because I know we all have different coping mechanisms when we deal with certain things. But, you know, just do a self-check. Do a self-check. Do a self-evaluation and just say, you know, how do I deal with certain things? Am I committing emotional suicide? Am I just cutting people off? Am I just shutting down? How is that benefiting me? Those are things I've been having to do in the last week. I've just been on this whole like emotional roller coaster. It's been a little bit of a crazy mess, and it's forced me to reflect on myself and reflect on how I deal with people, and reflect on how I deal with my inner conflict. And it wasn't running to everybody and telling them what was going on. It was sitting down in my couch, actually, and having to address myself and talk to myself like, girl, what the hell is going on? And I thought that if I just shut everything down, it was going to be easier for me to just deal with the day. But you know what? The end of the night came and I couldn't sleep. It was one of those things that I'm so exhausted, but my mind is racing. But I was just trying to shut everything off, and I really couldn't. It was really difficult. So I did a whole lot of writing. I wrote in my journal. I did a whole lot of self-evaluating. And I was like, damn, I thought this was going to be the best way for me to handle things right now in my 30s, because I have no time for the bullshit. So I just rather just cut people off or shut it down. And I'm learning that it's poison. It's so toxic, because I'm walking around with like just this negative energy, and it sucks. So I urge anybody who's listening, just, you know, like I said before, do a self-check, write it in a journal, talk to a friend, talk to your therapist, talk to somebody, and just find ways to avoid yourself from committing emotional suicide. Stay tuned for some upcoming episodes. I should be having another one come out after the weekend, and share with a friend, and let me know your thoughts. Take care.